Yo, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's your boy Neptune here, and honestly, this video is something I didn't really want to make, because I kind of hate making videos like this, but if I didn't make this video, it would just eat me up until I got it off my chest, so it's just kind of inevitable for this video to come out. It was going to come out either sooner or later, and I'd rather it be sooner, but the thing that really bothers me is whenever someone is going through so many like mental health problems that they're trying to deal with and they're at work, the employer makes them feel even more like shit, and it just makes them like afraid to be able to trust the employer, or even future employers for that, because then they're gonna think, what if this employer is like, oh well, we'll understand, but then they don't, and they do the same exact shit. And like, yes, I get it, the real world, it's fucking cruel, it's difficult. I'm not saying that it's gonna be all rainbows and cupcakes. No, I'm not gonna say that, because the real world is just fucking cruel. But it's just bullshit to treat someone like shit and make them feel even more like shit, especially if they're going through mental health issues and they've brought it up to you. And another thing that irks me to my fucking core is when they try to reason with you, being like, well, I have this, so I understand. Well, if you did, you wouldn't make us feel like shit. That's the thing. Not only that, but when they say that you're complaining all the time when you've literally just told them like, hey, like I feel like I'm on the verge of a breakdown or something like that. Like that shit's happened to me. I told one of my employees like I was on the verge of a breakdown, like I really need a breather, and they really thought I was just complaining. It's like, I'm not complaining. Like, do you want me to like get myself hurt because I'm about to have a breakdown, or do you want me to take a breather so I can come back and be able to get my shit done? Like, it's tough, I get it, you know, sometimes, you know, I wouldn't be able to get a breather, I just kinda had to work through it, but I'd have to do like calming techniques. But still, you shouldn't be made to feel like shit if you're going through mental health issues, especially by an employer who's like, oh, I understand, because they in general do not understand what you're going through. They can be like, oh, I understand, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have, you know, bipolar, you know, but they can never fully understand what you as a human being are going through, because they've never walked a mile or a day in your shoes. And I don't know, it just pisses me off to the extreme whenever they're trying to understand, especially with this one employer who thought they were like, I have anxiety, I locked myself in my house and I've cried and I didn't get out, I had no motivation to do anything. I was like, but that's more likely to be depression than it is anxiety. My anxiety is crippling. Like, I have very bad crippling anxiety, and I'm just putting that out there. So making this, you know, even being on camera like this, even during streams, it's very crippling for me, because I don't want to do the wrong thing, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm just trying to make content enjoyable for the people who watch it, and honestly, you know, a lot of people don't understand that. And I mean, previous employers of mine have also like made me feel like shit for having mental health issues, saying that mental health issues aren't real. And honestly, like, this video is just to say that mental health issues are serious, and to the people who say they aren't, they don't understand you fully. They don't know how people work. They're just in their own reality on top of their high horse, and they just don't have any sympathy or, you know, anything for like anybody else. And it's just sad. Like, I don't want people to be able to fully understand, but I want people to kind of grasp their head around the fact that not everyone they hire is going to be a perfect individual, you know. Like, for instance, they can hire someone who had felonies, you know. They could hire a person who is convicted of a crime, and yet, you know, they treat them like more of a human being than they would treat somebody with mental health, because they don't believe in mental health being a serious thing, when in reality there are a lot of big people who have, unfortunately, unalived themselves due to their mental health problems getting worse and worse, and they couldn't deal with it. And it's just, it's terrible. Like, people need to understand that mental health is very serious, and the fact that they can't, like, it just shows me that there's like no faith in this world anymore. There's like no hope. And I'm not gonna say, you know, that everyone should be able to understand by tomorrow. I'm not gonna say that shit, you know. Obviously I want them to like take the time to like grasp their head fully around, you know, the situation of mental health, especially those people who don't believe mental health is a very serious thing, or they don't believe it's a real thing. And I just want people to know that, like, if you're going through anything, you know, I'm sure there are people there that you trust and that you could talk to. If you're ever going through anything, please be sure to talk to them, because if you're at work, employers are not, you know, gonna be there, you know, to be like, oh, it's okay. They won't understand. And I'm not saying go to your employer and like talk about the things, but like, if you're having a breakdown, don't be afraid to go up to your employer and be like, hey, I'm having a breakdown, can I please go take a breather really quick? And don't be afraid to do that, because sometimes some employers will understand and they'll be like, yeah, go ahead. But if they say no, legitimately, just do a calm, soothing technique, and whenever it's time for break, or you get, you know, a lunch break, be sure to call whoever it is that you trust and talk to them about it, because if you're going through something that involves mental health, then, you know, I want you to be able to get help, because I go through mental health issues every single day, and I try to get as much help as I possibly can. And I just want you guys to know that you guys aren't alone. And the fact that these employers are like treating people with mental health like shit, you know, it's just unreasonable, and it's fucking pathetic. It leaves a bad image on your brand, and like, it just shows that they really don't care about the employees like they say they do. And to the people that say mental health isn't real, you're also very pathetic in my eyes. Like, mental health is seriously real, and it's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. But just know, if you guys are going through anything, you guys are not alone. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I really needed to say. And yeah, it's been your boy Neptune. Peace, guys.